Meta is laying off thousands of workers. By now, you guys have probably heard this news already. But what does it mean for you if you're looking to transition into tech or you're looking for a new job? Maybe you got laid off. Whatever your situation is, this will impact anybody that's looking to break into tech. We heard announcements from Amazon, Apple, and then we've also had a plethora of layoffs, including companies like Opendoor, Hootsuite, and the list goes on and on. Now, this is going to impact people who particularly are looking to transition into tech because it means there's a lot of experienced people on the market and they will be going and competing against the same jobs that you're looking for. But it's also going to be a challenge if you've gotten laid off because there's a lot of people in the market, people are applying for jobs. I look at some of these job postings and they have hundreds and thousands of applicants, so it's really, really hard to stand out. So for those that have been laid off, my suggestion is to look at your network first. Look at people that you've worked with in the past. Look at family and friends. Look at people you know in the industry that you've met and start to leverage that network. For people who are entry level, it's a similar thing. Start building up that network, start getting involved in a conversation, and start putting yourself out there more. Granted, if you don't have experience, it is going to be a lot more challenging right now. So big tech seems like it's kind of not the best option right now. So what other options are there? Well, you could look at companies that are pre-IPO and have recently received funding. A lot of these companies are getting more conservative with how they spend their money so they can protect their runway. Now, if you go to one of these companies, likely a startup, it's going to be risky, right? But what isn't risky right now? We're in a recession. These roles might not pay as much, but you might get exposure into different areas of the business, which is going to help you in the long run within your career. If you're entry level, it might be a little bit more difficult to get into a startup because they're usually a little bit more risk averse when looking at candidates that don't have experience. Other options, though, are to look outside of the tech industry. There's lots of Fortune 100 and 200 companies that are pretty stable, have been around for a long time, but they also have IT departments or finance departments or sales departments. Now, these companies aren't going to be as sexy, but they're pretty stable. They're big, well-known, reputable names, but it's still tough to get into these companies. All right, my last suggestion is to look at other industries like manufacturing, supply chain, healthcare. All of these industries are really hurting for people, and it could be a good opportunity for you. Granted, these aren't the sexiest industries, but they pay the bills. The other thing to consider too is this isn't something that you need to commit to forever. Maybe you look at one of these industries for 18 to 24 months, and then as big tech bounces back, which it will, you'll be able to look again at the tech industry. Keep in mind, during a recession, the biggest companies usually get hit the hardest because they have the most money at stake. Let me know in the comments what you think, and remember to follow for more.